In Book 1 of C.S. Lewis's famous space trilogy, Out of the Silent Planet, published in 1938, the protagonist in this story was drugged and kidnapped and taken aboard a spaceship with the same two men that kidnapped him, with the apparent intention of turning him over to aliens on a foreign planet as some sort of a sacrifice so that these men could get rich and famous. The name Lewis gave this character was Ransom. On the ship, Ransom is reflecting to himself about how he should be terrified right now because of all the circumstances, but instead, he can't help but delight in the magnificent glory of the steady and unyielding light he's experiencing, now that that light is no longer filtered and blocked by the atmosphere and shadow of the earth. He felt his body and mind rubbed and scoured and filled with new vitality, Lewis explains it. Ransom credited a spiritual cause for this progressive lightening and exaltation that he was experiencing because of the light. Lewis writes that as time wore on, Ransom became aware of the spiritual cause for this progressive lightening and exaltation of heart he was experiencing. A nightmare long endured in the modern mind, he says, by the mythology that follows in the wake of science was falling off him. He had read of space. At the back of his thinking for years had lurked the dismal fantasy of the black, cold vacuity, the utter deadness which was supposed to separate the worlds. He had not known how much it affected him until now that the very name space seemed a blasphemous libel for this empyrean ocean of radiance in which they swam. He could not call it dead. He felt life pouring into him every moment. How indeed should it be otherwise, since out of this ocean the worlds and all their life had come? He had thought it barren. He saw now that it was the womb of worlds, whose blazing and innumerable offspring looked down nightly, even upon the earth with so many eyes, and here now with many more. No, space was the wrong name. Older thinkers had been wiser when they named it simply the heavens which declare the glory. I love that description of the light. The heavens which declare the glory of God. The darkness can't overcome the light. In fact, the dark, supposed emptiness of space is just a container for the life that light brings. A womb of worlds, Lewis calls it. The psalmist in Psalm 97 said that the heavens declare his righteousness and all the peoples have seen his glory. Remember when baby Jesus was presented at the temple in Jerusalem to Simeon, and Simeon prays to God, and he says, "My eyes have seen your salvation, which you've prepared in the presence of all peoples, a light of revelation to the Gentiles and the glory of your people, Israel." Nominal Christian culture can make us so used to these stories that we forget how significant and unexpected a thing it is that the God of the universe, the creator of space and time, the omnipotent and personal force that brought all life into being and knows the deepest desire of every one of his creatures, including you and me, this God has fulfilled his promise to redeem his people in a way that nobody could expect. The eternal, all-powerful God of the universe took on flesh in the form of a baby in the humblest of human circumstances to reconcile my heart and yours to himself. And after that, to reconcile us to each other and to the rest of his creation. This Advent week, let's take the time to praise him for the light of Christ that came into our dark world.